no pleasure. I ain't here to make friends, big stepper. Ayy, bad guy, Heath Ledger. Ready for whatever, I'll be front and center. Don't fly too close to the sun, your body chopped up by propellers. Came in arrogant, but left out in a stretcher. Fuck the comparison, y'all know y'all couldn't replicate it. Chillin' in the desert, I'm good under pressure.
Stick around when we hold it down, look at what we found.
This a marathon, not a sprint, let's go 100 miles.
From the ground, with me to the clouds, never coming down.
That's the crown on me, wear it proud, show 'em what we bout.
Stick around when we hold it down, look at what we found.
Said this a marathon, not a sprint, let's go 100 miles.
From the ground, with me to the clouds, never coming down.
That's the crown on me, wear it proud, fuck what they was talking about. All work, no pleasure. I ain't here to make friends, big stepper. Ayy, bad guy, Heath Ledger. Ready for whatever, I'll be front and center. Quick to sever, however, whoever. Raining from above, we shooting down through your umbrella. Ayy, getting fed up, nothing you could tell us. Snapping every shot I take, just wait till it develops.
Stick around when we hold it down, look at what we found.
This a marathon, not a sprint, let's go 100 miles.
From the ground, with me to the clouds, never coming down.
That's the crown on me, wear it proud, show 'em what we bout.
Stick around when we hold it down, look at what we found.
Said this a marathon, not a sprint, let's go 100 miles.
From the ground, with me to the clouds, never coming down.
That's the crown on me, wear it proud, fuck what they was talking
Stick
about.
around when we hold it down, look at what we found. From the ground, with me to the clouds, never coming down. Stick around when we hold it down, look at what we found.
Said this a marathon, not a sprint, let's go 100 miles.
From the ground, with me to the clouds, never coming down.
That's the crown on me, wear it proud, fuck what they was talking about.
Turning practice to perfection took some trying. Who'da thought that I'd get my next blessing from some lines? I turned this rap shit into my profession and defied all they projections. No ceiling on what's manifesting in my mind, cause I get stronger when the pressure build. More hunger, what's next to kill. Grind with the time I had and get paid over time. This so refined, just peep the detail. And it's all for retail. I used to get my inspo from the store that was for... Now we don't cross my mind so much cause everything high. I don't even check the traffic flow cause everything fly. Before us whips, now I got extra keys. Just text my lady, I'm the greatest, she said yes indeed. Can't play it safe, I'm taking risks cause I know what could be. Where that could lead, you best believe I'll be the first to see. I paid the price to know my worth so I can't work for free. And put my soul in every moment, it's all sacrifice. Just about what you think worth the bleed. What you think worth the scars? Girl, it's way more to the world than fancy cars. We gon' live today, we might not see tomorrow. You gon' miss the galaxy, try and see the stars. Contemplate daily what's gon' get us far. No need to buy the world cause it's already yours. And I'm no longer searching for another reason. When I'm through with this earth, I might just rise up out the dirt and ball another season. 20s, 50s, 100s, I wanted, it's mine. Planning the purchase, I'm buying land and the purpose divine. Pull out a family, one roof to stack, it won't cost them a dime. Feel me up seeing my people eat, that's the mark of a done. Can't be losing focus in the clutch, that's gonna cost you your prime. I took precaution, man, been at work since I first saw the sign. X by my cursive and I ain't slipped since I dotted the line. Make sure the ethic match my ambition and wait for the time when drinks is on me. Thanks I don't need. I done had this plan since both jeans and long tees. No extended hands that didn't feed, I'm on freeze. Cause I ain't got the battery to spin, I'm low key. I done put my TK in 10 times, no lie, I did the job. Had to wash my hands on wind, lay down at night and get to God. It had been so many times inside, I thought when nothing left. I was on my way up thinking I would fall, but took a step.
niggas always talking, I'm like, fuck it, let them chat. I've been getting money, you know I can live with that. Legend in my city, winning, showed it on the map. And if I leave this bitch tomorrow, they gon' quote it as a fact. I'm like, who the hell could stop me? Carbon copies on my timeline. Get up out your ego, learn to think with your divine mind. Main role in my movie, get that boot if you ain't acting right. Biting on my style, these niggas rapping with some appetite. Better know where you at night. Ride around with that strap at night. Catch me flicking ashes, thumping funky at your traffic light. Tipping out my bottle, all in honor of my dead. Swear these niggas want no drama on my mama, on your head. I was raised to be that way, you just can't hold it, G. Being a block, I'm on my pivot like I'm supposed to be. Clocking digits with them niggas who been close to me. Popping shit and putting dick all in her ovaries. But I do my thing, bitch. I'm way too play for playing around, you know my language. Just send me that bread and I'm laying it down. I hold my weight, bitch. They know my name when I'm moving through town and I don't lane switch. I'ma keep it that way till I lay in the ground. I do my thing, bitch. I'm way too play for playing around, you know my language. Just send me that bread and I'm laying it down. I hold my weight, bitch. They know my name when I'm moving through town and I don't lane switch. I'ma keep it that way till I lay in the ground. Who gon' tell your tale if you don't leave no good impression? You ain't mad at me, little bitch, you mad at your reflection. Working on my hoodoo, burning sage for my protection. But if that shit there don't work, you know we brought that Smith & Wesson. I ain't stressing, found my blessing in the lowest state. She tell me, Xavier, please come over, though she know it's late. I could've went and beat that down, instead I chose to wait. I been that nigga in my city, that ain't no debate. See, once you learn to drop your feelings, you might drop your ceilings. I talk to God about my dealings when they got my healings. Don't point my way with all that drama, I be about my commas. What's worse about your lack of papers, you ain't got no honor. But I do my thing, bitch. I'm way too play for playing around, you know my language. Just send me that bread and I'm laying it down. I hold my weight, bitch. They know my name when I'm moving through town and I don't lane switch. I'ma keep it that way till I lay in the ground. I do my thing, bitch. I'm way too play for playing around, you know my language. Just send me that bread and I'm laying it down. I hold my weight, bitch. They know my name when I'm moving through town and I don't lane switch. I'ma keep it that way till I lay in the ground.
Oh, what's going on? How y'all doing? It's your boy Big Dog Bark, and come straight out of Memphis 10. And as y'all can see, I'm going through a little rebrand, you know what I'm saying? For those that been over here, for those that know how I get down. I had a couple of things that happened this weekend that made me come back to the thing that I said I wasn't gonna do anymore. I said I was gonna get away and dive off into other topics. But for those that know, my daughter going through a little situation in her relationship, and one of my partners, one of my lifelong partners, somebody I've been knowing for 30 years, at least 33 years, at least 30 years. One of my partners that I've been knowing for 30 years, he hit me up and he been going through some things in his relationship. And I sat there and I said, man, I try to get out. I said I ain't want to talk about this no more. I said I want to do other things because people act like they want the truth, but they don't want the truth. And just by what's going on in my own personal life with people that I love, people that I care about, and what they're going through in their relationships, and I want them to be in the best possible relationships if possible. I want everybody to be happy. I see now is that a lot of the talking points that we're talking about in these spaces, they for real. And I have said for so many times that I don't experience what I see on YouTube. I never had child support issues. I never been on child support. Don't know nothing about divorce. I'm still in my first marriage. You know what I'm saying? I got brothers and I got friends that been going through these type of things, but they don't affect me personally. And I've always said that my issues are my issues. I don't have problem getting women. I don't have problems. There's a lot of problems I don't have that I hear men talk about, and I always heard women talk about. And as soon as I said I'm gonna step out and I'm gonna get away from trying to solve people problems, trying to see people be happy, trying to see relationships and all that good, good stuff. I'm trying to work on my mouthpiece. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to curse so much. And as soon as I said I was gonna stop, they called me back in. They bring me back in. Hold up, let me get my camera right. You know what I'm saying? Hold up. I don't know. Wait a minute. That's better. And I said I was gonna be through with the relationships. I was gonna be through trying to fight and trying to help men and women get along for the greater of the good. You know what I'm saying? And I see now is that I can't leave. And I ain't even made a dent. I ain't even made a dent. I ain't even been monetized. You know what I'm saying? Now, before I get into this convo, now hit that like button as y'all enter the building. Hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, and comment in the chat. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get monetized by the end of the year. I'm trying to get to 1,300 subscribers by the end of the year. It's a small number to some, but it's a big number to me. Y'all help me out. You know what I'm saying? As you can see at the bottom at the banner, you know what I'm saying? If you want to support, hit that cash out. Be a part of the movement. You know what I'm saying? If you don't, you don't. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna stop no show over here. I'm trying to give y'all the real truth with no filters. I ain't trying to baby you. I ain't trying to, hold your hand through all this. I'm trying to give y'all the game so y'all know how to maneuver through all this. And I realize is that even with my daughter, as much as I can put into my daughter head and how she deal with her situation, it's still a situation. No matter how much me and my partner grew up, and he finna be 47, he still got information that he missing. So yeah, I'm gonna have to come back and do what I need to do to help the people get right. But if I gotta help the people get right, man, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna take y'all to understand is that love is a war. Relationships are not easy. If that's what y'all really want, is the relationships. If y'all just wanted one night stand and quickies and all that right there, friends with benefits or whatever the case may be, fine, cool. Say that. Fine, cool, say that. Then the conversation I give you will be totally different. The conversation about that, I got that conversation too. I got that working. But if y'all really want relationships like y'all say y'all want, y'all really want to be with one and all this good stuff, then y'all gonna have to, man, saddle up, buckle down, you know what I'm saying? And get the hard truth about reality. You get the hard truth about reality, about relationships. And I've said for a minute, is that your mindset, how you deal with things, travel all across your world. The way you look at business, the way you look at money, the way you look at sports, the way you look at women, the way you look at everything that's going on in your world, you still have that same mindset across the board. And I've said this over and over and over and over again. It's like how you look at money. It's how you look at women. That's how you deal business, whether it's legal or illegal, it's the same way you deal with women. And for somehow, some way, when you go to the gas station, go get that scratch off, you willing to spend that dollar, that $5, that 10, whatever you spending to get your lotto ticket on a chance to come up big, and you do that faithfully. I know you do. I know you do. I got 2 corner stores right by my house, and them just stay jumping. Folks going in there getting scratch offs. I see scratch offs all across the parking lot at both of them. So I know you're willing to spend your bread on a scratch off. I know y'all willing to spend money for a pick 5 or a pick 7 trying to hit these big $1 million jackpots. I know y'all doing it. Y'all ain't got no problem doing it because you're trying to come up. Y'all going to shady business deals. Y'all know the plug ain't right, but the plug got that good right now. You trying to shop while these deals got, and he might be taxing, you might be busting your head, but you willing to pay the extra. Because it's the best dope on the town right now. Ain't nobody else got this, and you going to spend the extra to get that little bow. No, you going to do it. You sure shit thing don't want no babbage, you don't want no garbage, you don't want no boo-boo that you can't move, you got to sit on and smoke. So, yeah, you going to spend the extra for the good shit. And it might just have some perfume on it. Just might got a little scent on it, ain't hidden. It just looks can be deceiving, smells can be deceiving. But you're willing to do it. You're willing to do it. And you see the red flags. You know it ain't right. But you can't do nothing without them. You can't ignore them. You see the red flags in business, you see the red flags in money, you see the red flags everywhere. You even see the red flags in relationships. And gentlemen, you're not able to ignore them. You're not going to be able to ignore them. I don't care who you listen to, how long you've been listening to them. I don't care how much you donating to these different content creators and how many times you've been on their panel and expressing your grievances and everything, bro. You're not going to be able to run from them. Now, the good thing about red flags is, like, if this something you not cool with, then by all means, you don't have to deal with it. Translation: if this is a deal breaker, this is a deal breaker. You don't have to deal with it. But at the same time, some men look at the red flags and say, I'll be all right. And it is what it is. I have said on so many occasions, it's like it's the hero and the coward pump the same blood. They both have these same feelings of anxious and scared and all that right there. They both feeling it, but the hero is the one that going through all them feelings of anxiety and fear. They gonna go out there and do what it got to be done because it has to be done. While the cow will sit back and watch. While the cow will sit back and watch. There's a difference. Even though we both bleed the same and pump the same blood and sweat the same sweat, even though we're going through the same issues, some of us go out there and see the red flag, see the violation, and see this, that, and the third, and say, I still got to go out there, while some say, I ain't budging because of the red flag. And it is what it is, but that's what separates the winners versus the losers. Now, just because I said it separates the winners versus the losers, I'm not saying you're a loser by no means necessary. You're not a loser. You might be calculating in what you're doing, but what if I told you there's only 6 real red flags? And again, they can be deal breakers if that's a problem. But like I said, some individuals know them red flags and still do what they got to do because they feel like they can handle the red flags. We're all guilty of it. We're all guilty of it. We all go through that. We can sit here and see the flashing red lights right before us. We can see them. And we'll still have to do what we have to do, even when we see the red flag, because your goal, what you're trying to achieve, means sacrifice, means dealing with something you don't want to deal with in order to get what you want. In order to get what you want, you have to go through some things. And men, gentlemen, I need y'all to go through some things. Not because I want to see you suffer, because I want to see you be great. I don't want to see you suffer. I want you to be great. I want you to be great at all times. But y'all have to go through something. And yes, you do need to watch your peers and the people that came before you so you won't copy their mistakes. But just because you watched me and trying not to do the same things I did wrong, don't mean don't try your damn self. See, that what happens is that y'all done seen so much and heard so much that y'all scared to do anything, when the truth of the matter is you ain't living life unless you try something. Now, don't be no crash out. Don't be no fool. Don't do that. By all means, don't do that. But you're going to have to go out there and put your foot in that water. You're going to have to try some things in order to see what you like and what you don't like. I could tell you what's a red flag to me and what's a deal breaker for me, and it might not be a deal breaker for you. And vice versa, and it is what it is. But the truth be told, there's only 6 real red flags out there. It's one major deal breaker, and I don't care who that is. I don't care what she look like. I don't care what skin color she is, what body type, whatever the case may be. It's only one main deal breaker. Everything else is red flags. The first red flag is the manipulation, the emotional manipulation, the mind games and all that right there. You can't ignore that. You can't look past it. It's there. Now, one case of this, as I've said this before, is the Travis Hunter situation and his wife, future mother of his child. I said numerous times, they said, yeah, she's an emotional manipulator. I mean, I tell my son, his girlfriend, the emotional manipulator. I told her she was a manipulator many times in her face. It's there. It's there. And what I see in these spaces, what I see on social media is that because you know what's there, you don't want to play the game because you know they're manipulators. And okay, cool. That's a red flag, though. That is a red flag. It is not necessarily a deal breaker for every man. And I've said on several occasions, this is why we have so many problems and why the men can't be on one accord, because what you might like, I might not like. And what you might like, I might not like. It is what it is. So when I hear a lot of guys trying to get everybody on one accord, I'm like, it's kind of hard when men have different tastes. It's kind of hard when men have different tastes, just like with fast food restaurants. You got to eat. You got to eat. Now, me, myself, I'm not going to McDonald's for no cheeseburger. I got spots I go to for a cheeseburger. I like going to Five Guys. I like going to Hughes. It's a local restaurant here in Memphis. I go there if I want a cheeseburger. And I've always been like that. If I want a steak, I'm going somewhere where I know I'm going to get a good steak. If I want a cheeseburger, I'm going to spots where I can get a good cheeseburger. If I want chicken strips, hot wings, tacos, sushi, whatever I want to eat, I know places to go to get what I want. Now, you have some individuals that say, I'm hungry, I want to eat McDonald's. I don't want McDonald's. You'll say something wrong with me because I'm too bougie for McDonald's. No, I don't want a McDonald's cheeseburger. Now, if I have to go to McDonald's, I'm getting me some chicken nuggets. I might give me a fish sandwich. I'm not going to McDonald's for a Big Mac, a quarter pound, a double cheeseburger. I'm not going to McDonald's for a cheeseburger. I get some nuggets. I get a fish sandwich. And then you'll say I'm being bougie because what, you too good for McDonald's? You forgot where you came from? No, I ain't forgot where I came from. I just know I don't want to go back there. I don't want to. I don't want to. This is what I like. I like spending the extra for a cheeseburger at Five Guys. I'm comfortable spending that for a regular burger, a little burger, bacon, cheese, a little mustard, pickles. You know what I'm saying? Mayonnaise, I'm good with that. I'll pay that. I'll pay that for some fries. When I'm with my wife, when I'm with my son and his girlfriend, I'm willing to pay that for the fries. I'm going to get a drink. And I'm comfortable spending $40, $50 for 3 to 4 people. For a cheeseburger. I'm comfortable with that. Some of y'all not comfortable with that. And that's fine. But as far as manipulation, some individuals are comfortable with women that are manipulators. We know they manipulate. We hear that all the time. Women are manipulated. Now, you might say they manipulated with their body, and I'm like, well, if you a heterosexual man, you like how women look. Whether you like their skin tone, whether you like their long legs, you like their big wide hips and fat butts and big breasts. Whatever you like about a woman is what you like. There's no way for you to get manipulated if you already like it. You just seeing what you like. There's no manipulation behind it. We're talking about emotional manipulation where, yeah, they might call you broke, weak, little peen, mama's boy, just so they can get their way. It happens. It's there. It ain't went nowhere. It's there. And I've told individuals for the last 2 years is that, bro, you can't run from it. You know it's there. And in some shape, form, or fashion, any woman you come across going to do that one way or another. You can't avoid it. Now, if you want to sit there and say that's a total deal breaker, then by all means, it's a total deal breaker. You ain't got time for the gaslighting. You ain't got time for all the manipulation. If you ain't got time for it, fine, you ain't got time for it, but it's going to always be there. And like I say, for some, it's a deal breaker. You ain't got time to deal with it. And for others, I included, I deal with the manipulation. I deal with the emotional manipulation. I deal with you trying to make me feel some type of way so you can get your way. But they let me work on my strategy. They let me work on my logic. They let me work. Because I see it coming. So now I can sit back and I know it's coming. You know it's coming. Y'all talk about this all the time. You know it's coming. So instead of running from something I know is coming, I just work on the defense. When I used to tell people I like crazy women, that's why I like crazy women, so I can work on the logical defense. So what they do don't bother me because I know they're going to do it anyway. Now, I had slipped and fell a couple of times dealing with women. It ain't for sure thing. It ain't picture perfect. It ain't clear cut. But I'm willing to put myself out there to deal with it because I like women. I like women. So I'm willing to put myself out there in the landmine, in the war field, dealing with the manipulator because it helps me work on my brain. It helps me work on my mouthpiece. And one thing I know for sure is anytime you can make a woman quiet off of straight logic, take that dub. It worked plenty of times. You ain't got to stress the issue. You ain't got to beat them over the head over and over again to get them to understand your point. Oh, they understand. They just don't want to understand. They don't want to give in. And it is what it is. Cool. cool. You know that. So if it's a deal breaker, it's a deal breaker. It's a red flag. Proceed with caution. Proceed with caution. Because you can't avoid that. You can't ignore it either. It's there. Oh, excuse me. What the fuck? Oh, look. What the hell that was? Oh, anyway. Another thing is social media. Their attachment to social media. It's a red flag. It's a red flag. It's not a deal breaker. It's a red flag. Now, if you are one of them individuals that can't stand for your woman, can't stand for women to be on social media all day, whether it's posting on IG, whether it's doing something on TikTok, whether it's doing something trying for a piece of change on X, whatever the case may be, okay, that's a deal breaker for you. It's not a deal breaker for every man. It's just a deal breaker for you. You don't want your woman on social media all day, every day, constantly posting and posting and posting and liking and reposting and tweeting this and that. You don't want your woman on social media doing all that. Now, I'm just happy that my wife don't indulge in social media. Now, she do watch her YouTube. She do that. She do be on Flipboard, So I have to take the good with the bad. She ain't on Instagram or TikTok or nothing like that, but she be on YouTube watching her shorts. She'll tune in and did that and the third. So I can't ignore it and I can't avoid it because then I'll be a hypocrite because I'm on social media. I'm on Twitter. I'm on IG. I'm on TikTok. I'm on Twitch. I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. I'm on all the social media damn near. And for me to sit there and say, you can't be on social media while I use social media every day, I'd be a hypocrite. I mean, just think about some of your favorite content creators go to social media to get research, to get ideas about women that be on social media. Put two and two together. The majority of your favorite content creators go to social media to find topics to talk about on social media. And they're using social media. So that right there, gentlemen, is a crazy red flag because you use it yourself. You just don't want your woman to use it. But again, if that's a deal breaker, it's a deal breaker for you. For me, even if my wife was to do social media, be on TikTok or whatever the case may be, I can't even trip. I'm on it. I can't even trip. I'm on it. For me to talk about some of the things I talk about, I go to social media. I go find news clips and articles and this, that, trends and all that right there. I use social media too. So for you to sit there and trip off your woman for using social media, now she might be using social media to show her natural ass. Her newest pair of leggings or her in the gym flexing or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Whatever she using social media for, it is what it is. You don't want on there showing the goods. Okay, you don't want to show them the goods. Some guys don't care. So again, it's not a deal breaker to every man. It's just a red flag. Proceed with caution. Be part of the movement. You know what I'm saying? Hit the cash out. Because every time y'all hit the cash out, that's going to give me more and more and more to give y'all. I want to give y'all the truth. Raw and uncut. And I'm going to give y'all the truth. Raw and uncut. but be a part of the movement. If you wanna be changed, dealing with these women, dealing with power, dealing with anything in today's society, if I help you change, hit the cash out. If I help you change, hit the like button. If I help you change, hit the subscribe button, because that's all I'm here to do, to help you change. I want y'all to be better. Now, another red flag is transactional love, entitlements to money. It's a red flag. And to some, it's a deal breaker. But let's be honest. Let's be honest. In business, and like I said, you're always looking for the best deal. If you can get it for little or nothing, you're going to get it. But if it's rare and ain't nobody got it, you're going to overspend just so you can get it. And gentlemen, I made a lot of moves in my life, both legal and illegal moves. And I'm telling you, it was times I got good shit for the cheap price. And it was times I overspent for some bullshit. I'm telling you what I know. I'm telling you what I know. But I had to have it because of what I was doing. You feel what I'm saying? So even in a relationship, even when dealing with women, you still run the risk of overspending for some BS. It's a possibility you can get something good for a cheap price. It's always the possibility, because at the end of the day, and this is what y'all tell me, you have to choose your women according to what's between her legs. For you to know if this is a good woman or a bad woman, if this is something I want to make into a long-term relationship, or this is just something I got on the side, you ain't gonna know that until you get what between her legs. That's the product. That's something you want. Now you got some women that'll give it to you for little or nothing. And it might be the best you ever had, and it might be some trash. It's some women that got a premium price on it, and they ain't budging till the price get paid. And it might be the best you ever had, or it might be some trash. You got to set a budget. You got to set a limit to what you're willing to spend on that particular product, because you're going to spend. It's a red flag. Some men feel like, hey, I shouldn't have to spend a dime. And I feel them. Is it going to work every time? No. But I understand what you're saying. You don't feel like you need to spend any money on something that's supposed to be given to you according to nature. I got you. I got you. I got you. So while you're holding out, trying to get it for little or nothing, another guy swoops in and pay what it need to be paid and get it. Call him a simp, call him a trick, call him what you want to call him. But at the end of the day, he made a business move. He got what he wanted, paid the price, and business move. You wasn't trying to spend no money. You wasn't trying to spend no time, whatever the case may be. You ain't get it because you were being cheap. While another guy spent the time, spent the money, and got it. Now, how it turned out, how he got it, could be some trash, could be some treasure. Don't know. Unless you do your research, unless you ask certain questions and watch body language and all that right there, you don't know what you're paying for until you get it. But that goes with any business. You don't know what you're paying for when you go get, you know what the benefits say. When you buy a new iPhone, when you know what the colorway is, when you buy the new pair of J's and this, that, you know what you're getting. You know what you're getting, but at the same time, is it worth it? Is it worth spending the extra money or not? I sold shoes for the resale. And depending on who it was, it's like, hey, I give you that for this price, but I give you that for that price. You feel what I'm saying? If I like you, I give you the price I give you a low price. If I don't like you, I'm gonna bust your head. Same rules apply when it comes down to the women. If she like you, she might give it to you for the free ski. If she don't like you, if she interested, but you know she gonna make it hard on you, she gonna make it hard on you, and it is what it is. Everybody not gonna get the free sample to take home. Somebody gonna have to spend a little bit of money. But it's a red flag. It's not a deal breaker. It's just a red flag. It ain't nothing to be worked up about because it's always been like that. And I've always said, name me a time when women ain't want money. Name the time period where you didn't spend no money. You ain't spend no time on no female. Name in the time frame. It's always been around. You can't ignore it, but you can't avoid it either. Oh, excuse me. Another red flag. So what's that? Emotional manipulation, social media, transactions. The fourth one is mood swings. I mean, gentlemen, we are dealing with women. Are we not? We are dealing with women that everybody know are emotional creatures. We know they're emotional creatures, which means their emotions can be all over the place or could be calm as a still water. We should know this. We talk about this all the time. You're supposed to know this. They're emotional creatures. You're knowing this, but yet and still you're trying to avoid something you can't avoid. You're trying to ignore something you can't ignore. They're going to be there. They're women. They're going to be hot one day and cold the next day. And far be it that they be warm, right down the middle. They're going to have their mood swings and their emotions going all over the place any given time of the day. And you know how we feel about when they be on their woman thing. Their emotions be out of whack. We know how they get when they pregnant. Emotions be out of whack. So how you going to avoid something that you know gonna happen? And y'all want to be around them, but you don't want them to be emotional. How does that work? And sit there and say that's a deal breaker for me because she's emotional when it's like she's an emotional creature. How can she not be emotional? How can she not be emotional when we know women are emotional creatures? It don't make a lot of sense. How can you avoid that? You can't. How can you ignore it? You can't. It's a red flag. But if there's something you don't want to deal with, again, you don't have to deal with these red flags. But just like you don't have to deal with an emotional woman, I don't know how you're going to avoid that. But just like you say you need a woman that can catch her emotions in check, fine, cool. And you're not dealing with them till you find one, again, that's your issue. That's your issue. But the majority of us guys know is that if she's an emotional creature, there's no way I can avoid it or ignore her emotions. I have to deal with them. Some way, somehow, I'm going to have to deal with her being emotional. There's no way around it. But again, red flag to some, deal breaker to others. Some don't care. So now we got the what's this? What I say? Social media, transactions, manipulation, emotions. Oh, fifth one. Disrespect for your boundaries. It's something I've been watching on TikTok lately that had me tripping is that I've been seeing these guys being with their women and just the whole how the woman is going and picking food out their plates and trying to eat their food and all that right there. That's a boundary. You feel what I'm saying? That's a boundary. Why is you reaching over here picking up anything out of my plate when I bought you your own food? You got your plate, I got my plate, and somehow, some way, you got your hand over in my plate. You picking up shrimp out of my plate. You're trying to eat my burrito. You're trying to drink my drink. You're trying to eat my dessert. Do you feel what I'm saying? You're all in my space. I'm hungry just like you hungry, and you got your food right in front of you, and you're eating out of your plate and my plate. Now, if I reach over there try to get in your plate, you want to smack my hand, you want to try to stick me with the fork, you want to try to do everything in your power for me not to get none out of your plate, but you're in my plate. That is boundaries being disrespected. That's just the simplest example I could give you of your boundary being disrespected. If you don't want her to play with your phone and she keep calling going through your phone, that's a boundary that's being disrespected. Now, what's your boundaries is your boundaries. I can go on and on and on about boundaries. Whatever is your boundaries was your boundary. I know one of my boundaries is you're not going to say I'm stupid. You're not going to insult my intelligence. That's my boundary. You can say what you want to say about me, but you're never going to say that. That's a boundary for me. You're not going to play that with me. You're not going to disrespect my intelligence. You feel what I'm saying? So if it's a boundary, it's a boundary. Whatever is your boundary is your boundary. And if she's disrespecting it, it's a red flag. It's not really a deal breaker unless you make it a deal breaker. And again, just like with the manipulation, just like with the transactions, just like with the emotions, just like with social media, you got guys that don't care about the disrespect. They'll deal with it when they deal with it. So we got emotional manipulation and gaslighting. We got disrespect the boundaries. We got social media addiction. We got transactional love. We got inconsistent emotions and all that right there. That's fine. Now this is the last major red flag. The one y'all don't like. This the last major red flag is the weaponized insecurity, where y'all sit up here and say the reason I can't be vulnerable to you is because if I tell you something that I ain't tell nobody else, there's a good chance when me and you get into it, you want to use it as a weapon. Gentlemen, you can't ignore that and you can't avoid that. It's a red flag. You know they do it. Now, this is the funny thing, and just going off of what my daughter just got through telling me not too long ago about what going on with her and her fiance is that men try to weaponize that stuff against women also. And this is just something quick I'm gonna say, just like what she tell me. Her fiance, at one point in time, told my daughter she didn't have to go to school no more, right? Then she was like, I'm going to school. I'm gonna finish up school. I'm gonna get my degree. Okay, cool. Now they're going back and forth, and guess what this guy done told my daughter? He's the reason for her success. Oh, he trying to throw every little manipulative tactic at her, every emotional tactic at her right now. And I just got through telling, I said he gonna do it. It's avoidable. It's unavoidable. He gonna do it because every time they even got into it big, and I have to hear about it, he's always in his emotional manipulation bag. He trying to make her feel some type of way in order to get his way. And my daughter, you know, the way I raised her, just for the simple fact, she has a business degree. She was in corporate America till he decided to tell her that she didn't have to work and he was gonna take care of everything. She know this is a negotiation. Cause like I used to go back and forth with guys about my daughter and what she doing in school and her being with a dude, and they kept telling me she had to pick one. Well, right now she's in the phase of having to pick one. But the reason she have to pick is not because he's a terrible person. He's not a terrible person. It's not that he don't want to do nothing for her. Nah, he'll do shit for her. I know this for a fact. The reason she have to pick is because he don't want to be the leader that he tell her he want to be. And see, she's having a problem holding her tongue because she know that what it is. And I have said this on several occasions, is that a lot of men want to be in charge. They want to be the leader. They want to call all the shots. And now my daughter, I ain't never raised my daughter to be just this uber independent. I'm going to do this, that, and the third. You got me messed up type of individual. No. My daughter will follow you, my God, if it makes sense. And up until this point, it made sense. And this is where the sense don't make sense no more, because you want to be my man in charge, and I'm giving you the opportunity to do it. She quit her corporate job because he wanted her to quit and be at home. She did that. She at home cooking and cleaning while she pregnant. He doing all the things that you guys say y'all want women. She doing all that. No problem. Because she want to trust her man. And now she's telling him, if you got it, you got it. If you need some help, you need some help. And he want to be Billy Badass. He want to take care of everything. And now they're in a situation where he needs her to go back to work right after the baby born. My daughter said, okay, if that's the case, I ain't got no problem. But just know this is that if I go back to work, we need a babysitter. It's $1,000 a week. It's $1,000 a week for a newborn. And mind you, he want her to go to a night shift job. And the only thing that's open at night is restaurants and gas stations and retail stores. And only so them, they, depending on what day of the week it is, 9, 10 o'clock. You might have to wait till the weekend for it to be open a little bit longer. So he literally want her to take a job that's making less money than her degree tell her she can make. He want her to be at home all day with the baby. Then when he get off from work, she can go to work. And she working somewhere that make less money than what she supposed to be making. She like, no, that don't make a lot of sense. When I got this degree and my money, the money I'm making because of my degree is the reason we staying in this nice apartment and doing this, that, and the third. Now, she ain't weaponizing it against him. What a lot of y'all fear that women do. No, she's not weaponizing it, but she's biting her tongue about it too, because you want me to go back to work, but you want me to make less money than I was making at a job. that I'm qualified to get. I'll be overqualified to work at a fast food restaurant. But because you want to be in charge, you want me to downgrade my financial earnings in order for you to feel like the big man. She know this. Or or one thing I could tell any individual when our household comes down, are we country? Me, my wife, my kid, we're country, but we're business savvy over here. There's no fooling us when it comes down to common sense, logic. There's no fooling us. So everything she breaking down is like, bruh, it's strictly business with me. You want to be in charge, be in charge. But when I tell you be in charge, you got to stand up to that. Because my daughter ain't got no problem being in charge. But I also know is that if she go back to corporate America and start making 2-3 times what he making right now, it look like an insult to him, and that's an insecurity. It look like an insecurity. He'll feel some type of way if she go back to corporate America and make 2-3 times more than what he makes. He'll be insecure. He'll be insecure. And again, my daughter don't throw that up in his face because she know that'll make him feel insecure. But at the same time, this is what you signed up for too, buddy. Because before she got pregnant and she started making all this good money, guess who was attached to her while she was making all this good money, while she was paying to help you get your car fixed, while she was helping pay the rent when you said you got the rent, taking you spots and all that, and then complain not one time. She knew what it was and then complain. She knew you ain't have the money to finance, so that's why she went and got the money her goddamn self and told you to come along. I got you. I got you. That's what my daughter told him before she got pregnant. I got you with this corporate money. You ain't got to stress. You ain't got to stress yourself out. You ain't got to break your back and all that right there. I got you. And I'm going to come home and cook and clean. I got you. You know, y'all say them Asian women do that. Hispanic, yeah. It's a black woman that do it too. But one thing, she was like, I'm not finna sit here and be your hoe. Because you want to be in charge and you want me to take a step back so you can be in charge. And now you trying to stress me out because, and I hate to say it, you acting a little feminine. Because now the pressure on you, what men say they like the pressure, they like to thrive in pressure situations. Now the pressure on you and now you're folding after you said you got her. And she's willing to get back in that position of bringing home the money while being so submissive to you, while cooking and cleaning for you, while bringing home 3 times more than what you make. She's totally fine with that. And let you be the man. But the thing is, you don't want her to do that because that triggers an insecurity. Because she know you ain't making the money. She know that you want to take care of her and you trying to do everything in your power to take care of her. She don't throw that up in her face like some females do. She know you ain't got it like that, but you trying to prove something to her. And she calmly telling you, nigga, I'll help if you want to help. She's willing to help. She's willing to dig in her pockets and put some money on the rent, some money on the light bill, some money on the car note. She's willing to do all that. You don't want her to do that. You don't want her to make no real money because it's an insecurity on you. And you so scared that she go back to it, she gonna throw it up in your face. You watch too much social media, my guy. Because if that was the case, she would have been done it. And on top of that, gonna tell her she got an attitude, and it's like, well, bruh, you knew she had an attitude when you first started talking to her 4 years ago. She told you in so many words she didn't even want your phone number because you had an Android and she's an iPhone girl. I'm gonna say that again. My daughter told her future husband when they first met, she didn't even want his number because he had an Android and she has an iPhone. Just that by itself, you knew my daughter with the shit. And you kept pursuing her. And now push come to shove, and now she wants you to be the leader that you say you want to be. Now you want to bring up her attitude when you already knew she had an attitude. But Lord forbid she say anything about your behavior, because now it's you're using stuff against me that I told you in secret. You should be ashamed of yourself. But gentlemen, it's a red flag. It's not a deal breaker. It's far from a deal breaker. But if it's a deal breaker for you, let it be a deal breaker for you. Some guys don't care. They're willing to run their red light. So again, social media, red flag, not a deal breaker. Transactional love, red flag, not a deal breaker. Emotions all over the place, red flag, not a deal breaker. Manipulation, red flag, not a deal breaker. Disrespect of your boundaries, red flag, not a deal breaker. The majority of your red flags are not deal breakers. And like I said before, it's hard to get men on one accord for everything to be a deal breaker when some guys like, I don't care. They don't care. Some men care, some men don't care. But each one care about one thing that the other one don't care about. You'll never get everybody on one accord to get women in line when your red flags and my red flags are totally different. If that's gonna be your deal breaker, it's gonna be your deal breaker. It's not my deal breaker. Okay, what's going on? What's going on? Glad to see you over here. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate, you know what I'm saying? Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button if you don't mind. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you coming over here. But anyway, a lot of red flags. Matter of fact, hold up. Let me see something. Let me see something. All right, I'll start Izzy. Izzy, I hope I said your name right. I'm gonna check out your channel. Okay, okay. I'm gonna go and subscribe to your channel right now. You know what I'm saying? I got you locked in, buddy. I appreciate you coming over. You know what I'm saying? If I see you more often, you know what I'm saying, I'll make you a mod. But since it's my first time seeing you, I'm just gonna feel you out, you know what I'm saying? But you're welcome to come back, you know. So I appreciate that. But yeah, what's a red flag to you may not be a red flag to me. And I see the same things you seeing. I might not care though. I might just run that light and say, I catch me when you catch me. I deal with when I deal with it. But again, I know it's there. I just took a chance on it. Now, with all that being said, and I'm gonna get up out here after I say this, without all them red flags that I just named, it's only one real deal breaker. It's only one real deal breaker. And gentlemen, that deal breaker is lack of accountability. Lack of accountability. That is the only real deal breaker is the lack of accountability. And that's something that a lot of guys been trying to get women to admit to and hold themselves accountable. Gentlemen, the women know they got issues. The women know they be doing the most at times. They know. I'll trust and believe they know. They know they do the most. And the thing about it is, they ain't gonna never admit it. They're never going to admit to doing the most. They're never going to admit it. But that's a deal breaker. That's a deal breaker. Now, the only thing about this deal breaker is this right here, is that you know that they're not going to hold themselves accountable. You know it's hard to get the good women to hold the bad women accountable. You know this. Excuse me. You know this. You see it every day. You know this. And this is the only part of the game where I'm going to tell you, you got to roll the dice. That's the only thing I can really tell you. This is the only deal breaker where it's like, hey, in order for you to get anything done with women, you won't have to sign some type of deal with them. What is for the short term or the long term? But you also know that they're never going to admit to manipulating you, and they're never going to admit this, that, and the third. Now, this is the funny thing about the accountability too, though. And why you say I love crazy women, why I don't judge baby mamas, I don't judge 304s and this, that, and the third, because I pretty much know what they are. I pretty much know what they are. If you can give me a female that's telling me up front that she with the shit, and she ain't trying to hide her ratchet behavior, she ain't trying to hide the fact that she do this, that, and the third, man, if you can show me a woman that come out the woodworks telling me this, that, and the third, this how she get down, and I see it, and I see all the red flags, and she ain't got no problem telling me she got red flags, she got issues, she got this, she got that, guess what? I'm willing to deal with her more. Call me crazy. But I know how to deal with you. I know how to deal with you if you just in it for money. I know how to deal with you. I know how to deal with you. I know if I want to get what's between your legs, if I want some of that good head, I know to spend bread. I know this. If I know you a manipulator, I know you with the shit. Every time you open your mouth, it's always somebody's fault that you can't get your way and woo 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 and all that right there. I know that. I know that. And I'll call you out on that. If I know for a fact you always on social media and you ain't got no problem showing me your social media, you ain't got no problem showing me your OnlyFans, I'm like, okay, I'm riding with that. At least you being honest. At least you being honest. I could deal with a woman that's being honest about her being with the shit. So now I know how to deal with you. If you got 2, 3, 4, 5 dudes on your roster and you want me on your roster, okay, cool. At least I know what I'm up against. That's on me if I want to deal with it. At least she told me the truth. At least she told me the truth and not play with me. So now if I want to take her out, I take her out. Even though I know she got about 2, 3 more guys that she talking to. At least I know what I'm up against. Gentlemen, y'all know what y'all are up against. You know what you're up against, and you can't run from them. You can't ignore them. You can't avoid them. What is in person or over social media, directly or indirectly, you're not able to avoid these women. You can't avoid them, and you can't ignore them. They're going to be in your face, and as long as your nether regions get hard, when you see the woman you like, regardless of the shape, color, or size, you have to deal with the red flags. You have to deal with the red flags. And if you don't want to, you don't have to. That's your choice. But just know you can't avoid them and you can't ignore them. So with that being said, I'm going to get up out of here. Excuse me. I was giving today a little trial run to my rebrand. You know what I'm saying? Once I keep going and going and going, I'm going to drop the link. Probably, depending on what I'm talking about tomorrow. I got a couple of topics that I might do a show about tomorrow. But yeah. So just keep it excuse me. Just keep coming through. Keep showing me support. Keep liking, keep subscribing, keep sharing. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be part of the movement, man, hit the cash out. You know what I'm saying? Any donation is a good donation. Because like I said, I'm trying to make sure y'all get the truth. I'm going to ask the questions that y'all scared to ask, and I'm going to give y'all the answers y'all don't want to hear. I'm going to give y'all the truth. No filters. And if you want the truth, come holler at me. Come holler at me. If you want the truth. If you don't want the truth, if you don't want it raw and uncut and real, go somewhere else. But over here, ain't nothing but real over here. But I'm help y'all through this land, man. I'm help y'all through this battlefield of war. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Anyway, I appreciate y'all coming through, and I'm going to get up with y'all good people at another time.